How's everyone doing today? It's Neroku back with another video, and for today's video we have every single ARK player's scariest moments that they've encountered. So while playing the game, all you guys have had some type of fear or like you're just scared that something's gonna happen. So today I have the biggest list of them. Starting off here at number 1, we have logging onto your PvP server after a break. So when you have to take a break from ARK, I know it's hard guys, but sometimes you have to take a break, even if it's long or if it's just a really short break. When you come back, if you logged out of the server, as you're logging in, you're scared. You're like, oh no, am I gonna be raided or will my base still be fine? It is literally one of the scariest moments that you have to go through every single time you log on to ARK, because no matter the tribe, no matter the size, I know like 95% of you guys aren't like alpha tribes, but for those other 5%, even still, it's really scary to log on because you don't know if your base is going to be raided when you finally log on or not. For the next one here, we have going to check on a tame that you forgot about. So this is another one of the scariest moments that you have to encounter in ARK, just because you don't know what happened to that tame. So you had to leave it for a minute, you left it maybe across the map, or you just totally forgot about it, and you go back to check on it, and so many things could have happened. Because when you forgot about it, someone could have came over and killed it, just sliced that thing up, or maybe it just woke up. And that's probably one of the scariest moments, because there's just so much anticipation as you're flying or running back over to that tame, and you don't know what really happened to it. So you're just like, you're praying, you're like, please still be alive. For the next one here, we have engaging in a PvP battle when your enemy has a griffin. So, griffins, they are so good because you can like dive down, get so much speed, and it barely takes up any stamina. You can go so far, it's just insane. So fighting a griffin, if you are on a Pteranodon or an RG, oh my gosh, it's over if you're on an RG. But even a wyvern, it's really difficult to face someone who has a griffin just because of the griffin's speed and stamina. So when you're engaging in a PvP battle and you see someone with a griffin, it's scary. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen because if they're good at PvP, they're gonna absolutely destroy you. So, I mean, it's not the scariest moment, but it builds up some anticipation. You got some anxiety, you're freaking out. You're like, oh my god, it's a freaking griffin. For the next one, when your screen lags and you're over a dangerous spot. So when your screen lags, you don't know what's gonna happen. This happens to everybody. Like, if it doesn't happen to you, you must have like insane specs on your PC, or it happens on console all the time. So all you console players, you can't even make an excuse. Your screen lags at some point when the game is rendering in or something. If you're over a really dangerous spot like a swamp or maybe like a freaking lava island or something, it's scary. Like, because if you lag out, your stuff is gone. You died. The dangerous stuff, whatever you're hovering over, it killed your bird and it killed you. So lagging out while on a tame and having to get back into the server. So like I said in the one before this, sometimes it's really scary when you don't know if you're gonna lag out or not, and there's just anticipation for a few seconds as your screen is lagging. But for this next one, it's when you actually do end up lagging out and you're trying to get back into that server and you're like, Jesus, I just landed over a freaking swamp with my bird and I'm there and I have all my good gear on me. And that's probably one of the scariest moments in ARK, at least top 10. Like, if it's not, I don't even know. It's really scary because you don't know what's gonna happen to your stuff. You're trying to get back into the server, you're spamming, because of course the game doesn't let you just go into a queue, which is super fair. They have a way for you to just spam into the game, which is so dumb because there's no purpose of even the queue if they're just gonna have people spam A and B to get in. For the next one, when you're on foot and you hear the steps of something nearby, but pretty much you guys are always scared when you can hear those footsteps because you don't know what it could be. Could be a Bronto, could be a Rex, could be a freaking Giga right next to you that absolutely demolishes you. So it's really scary because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what it is, but you know something is there. And the possibility of it being bad is like pretty high because Gigas and Rexes tend to come out of nowhere and absolutely demolish you. Because I know that happens to me all the time and it kind of is very annoying. So this next one, it happens to everyone. If this doesn't happen to you, you're literally a pro at the game. Hands down, you're a pro at the game. This doesn't happen to you. But pretty much, it's when you unmount and you're waiting to fall down to the ground. That's so scary when you're falling down to the ground, when you accidentally unmount from your tame, and you're like, am I gonna die? Or will I live to see another day as you're slowly falling down to the ground? And sometimes you survive, and that's good. But other times you don't, and it kind of sucks balls. But anyways, with that aside, that is unmounting, and you're just so scared because you don't know if you're going to die or not as you're falling down, and there's just so much anticipation. For this next one, it's when you see a whole army outside of your base. This has got to be one of the scariest, like at least top 5. Scariest moments in ARK. When you are getting online, you walk out of your base and you just see a freaking army of Gigas, or a FOB, a forward operating base for all you noobs out there. Pretty much, you're just like, oh my god, we're about to die, boys. And it's so scary because when you see so many Gigas just lined up, I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced it. It is so scary because you're like, Jesus Christ, look at the power that tribe has, because they can come over and absolutely demolish you. So you guys got to watch out for that, just saying. For this next one, we have when you're about to tame something big and you see another tribe scouting you out. So when you guys are going out to tame a Giga, or maybe it's a Rex, or maybe it's just something big in general, there's always the possibility of it getting sniped, or maybe run up on with a sword, or maybe just chomped on by another freaking tame. But there's always just this anxiety and just fear of someone coming over and ruining that perfect tame. You've been sitting there for hours, you've been grinding for days trying to get the right kibble for this tame. And finally, as it's fully starved out and you put the kibble in, someone just goes over and snipes it, ruins the effectiveness, and then they come over and kill it. So I have a little story for you guys, so sit back, relax for just a couple minutes. So one time I was on an official server. That's right, I played PvP at one point, boys. And pretty much I was on a small tribe server with 6 of my mates, and we were out there taming a 145 Giga. That's right, I know how to do that too. I was taming a 145 Giga, and pretty much I surrounded it in metal spikes. We had 3 people watching it while 2 people were getting meat, or prime meat, because we didn't have kibble at the time. And the server just came out like a week ago, and we were trying to tame this thing. And finally, it freaking like was almost ready to tame. Like the prime was all ready. We got the prime. We killed an alpha. We got the prime, and we started going back to the tame. And as the Giga was just laying there on the ground, another tribe, 5 of them, a 5 squad. They were on, I believe it was RGs. They came over on RGs. They got off. They had shields and swords. And before we could do anything, their melee was so high. They were only level 60s. They came over and just absolutely killed our Giga. When it was unconscious, they came over with swords and just hit it until it was dead. And the 2 of us who were out getting meat couldn't do anything. And the 3 of them back there had already gotten killed. So it was just a massacre. Our 145 Giga was killed. So that is one of the scariest moments when you're about to tame something big, because there's so much anxiety behind it and someone could come over and just absolutely demolish it, just like it happened to me. So the last one here on the list, you guys all know this feeling. It is super scary. When you're out and about, you're grinding, you're doing something, you're not near the base at that moment, and then at the top of your screen you get a red text. Something, one of your tames has just died. It's been killed, and it has to kind of like go through your brain for a second. You're like, wait a second, did I leave that out? Where was that tame? Was that at our second base? Where was it? And you're like, oh geez, that was at the main base. That was inside of the walls. It just got killed. We're being raided. That is one of the scariest moments because you're halfway across the map and you're trying to get back to base and your team was just killed. It is horrible. It is so scary because you don't know what's happening at the base. You can't see it, and there's nothing you can do about it even if you knew what was going on, because you have to fly all the way back there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are my top scariest moments in Ark Survival Evolved. At least one of them you guys have endured. All of you guys have at least gone through one of these. If you haven't, I guess leave a dislike on the video, because then my job has failed. But if you did experience one of these, at least one of them, just leave a like on the video. I would appreciate it so much. And subscribe if you haven't already, because I post banger Ark videos almost every single day. Usually every other day. And anyways guys, I'll see you on my next video, hopefully in a couple days. Peace.